So you hear some people pronounce his name Antiochus, some people pronounce it Antiochus, some people say Antiochus, some people say Epiphanes, some people say Epiphanes. These names are pronounced in different ways, but they're still talking about the same person, Antiochus or Antiochus the fourth.
God manifest. But behind closed doors, they whispered a different name, Epimanes, the madman. Because Antiochus IV wasn't just a king. He was a storm, a fire, a force sent to bend nations and beliefs beneath his will. Crowned in chaos, Antiochus rose to power in the Seleucid Empire with fire in his heart and a crown that never quite fit.
Right
where
there.
Others ruled.
So it's going over the Seleucid Empire again, man. If you get a chance, go watch the video that Brother Parak did on opening night. He went in great detail on the Seleucid dynasty, when it started, how it started, the many wars that went on to get to the Seleucid Empire. How you, man, it's a great class. It's a great class. I'm playing these clips to kind of refresh your memory and just letting you know what time period these things took place, the players that took place on the chessboard, so to speak, and why the Most High activated on behalf of the Israelites because of the tyrant that we was up against and the things that he done to our people. Specifically.
With order, he ruled with obsession, waging war not only against enemies, but against identity itself. When he marched into Jerusalem, he didn't just take the city, he defiled its soul. He outlawed Judaism, burned sacred texts, and placed a statue of...
So when you say Judaism, it's not talking about what you know is the religion of Judaism today. It's basically, the only thing it's saying is the religion of the Jews. When it said that he outlawed Judaism, the law, statutes, and commandments that the Jews were keeping during that time, which was the Mosaic law. Again, if you go back into the history, this is before the time of Christ. In Christianity, they like to tell you that the time period between the last prophet in the Bible and the book of Matthew, there's a time period where don't nobody know what was going on in history and don't nobody know what happened, and you just pop back on the scene and you got Matthew. No, the reason why they don't have this information because they don't have the Apocrypha, which is in the original 1611 King James Version. This is the history that you read during the time of the Greeks, because remember the Greeks came before the Romans. You read about the Persian and Mede history, all this different type of history that they say they don't know about because they say God was silent. That's Christianity in a nutshell, though. Madness. Play video.
Inside the Holy Temple. To Antiochus, resistance wasn't rebellion.
Just to show you the type of stuff this man was doing, he erected Zeus inside our temple, sacrificing swine's flesh on it. A lot of madness. This man really thought that he was God manifested on earth. That's what his name means.
Statue of Zeus inside the Holy Temple. To Antiochus, resistance wasn't rebellion, it was heresy. But faith has a fire no tyrant can smother. From the hills rose the Maccabees, a ragtag band of Jewish warriors led not by power, but by purpose. Outnumbered, under-equipped, but unshakable. And against all odds, they won. They reclaimed the temple, relit the flame, and carved their defiance into history. Antiochus died far from the land he tried to crush, raving, diseased, forgotten. But the people he tried to erase, they still remember. And every year during Hanukkah, a candle burns, not just for a miracle, but for a moment when a people said, "You will not erase us." Because even mad kings fall, but the spirit of a people never fades.
So it's showing you about how even through time or history, when it's taking place, the Israelites or the Jews still reference Hanukkah, Feast of Dedication to this day. I ain't gonna hold you. It really burned me up when you see these videos and people referring to us as Jewish, and because they got the fake people in their mind instead of the Jews or the Israelites who this day was really made for by the Lord, showing up and showing out on behalf of his people. But again, you got the scripture that tell you deliberately what color Christ is, and people still think that he a white man with blonde hair and blue eyes. So, you know, that's another reason why it's even much more important that our people learn this truth, learn this history, and not only just learn it, but live by it, like stand on it, because it's very important. We're going to start off in the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 3 and verse 1. I know we usually start off in Philippians, but for time's sake. Yes, sir. Ecclesiastes.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 3 and verse 1. To everything there is a season, and a time to every purpose under the heaven.
So this is what our people have to learn. This is what our people have to get inside their mind. We always in the party spirit. We always in the turn up spirit. We always in the have fun spirit. Even when things are going on that are serious in the earth, we're always looking for the next release or the next event to take our mind off what's going on, because we don't understand how the world really works. Because we are a people that have no identity. We march to the beat of the drum of our oppressors. He say jump, we say how high and how long. So this is what we have to understand. It's a time and a place for everything under the sun. To prove that point, if you went to a funeral and somebody just in the crowd laughing, just man, you gonna be like, hey, bro, this ain't the time and the place for that. So it's a time and a place for everything. This is how we look when we should be in a serious mind state, when war's going on spiritually, physically coming too. We're the person laughing, not focus on what's actually going on around us, because you worrying about a fat white man sliding down your chimney, putting cookies and milk out that you gonna eat. One of the most covetous holidays ever. You worrying about how you gonna perfect it in the image of how the white man shows you. But in all actuality, we should be really looking at what's going on in the earth, reflecting on the most high holy days that we should be keeping, and it's preparing our spirit and our mind for what's to come. Remembering what was done to our foremothers and forefathers and our children, and seeing that the exact same thing is taking place currently on earth today. Read verse 1 again.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 3 and verse 1. To everything there is a season, and a time to every purpose under the heaven. A time to be born, and a time to die. A time to plant, and a time to pluck up that which is planted. A time to kill.
But you don't understand it's a time to kill, because you want to invite everybody to the damn barbecue. You want to be buddy and friends and cool with everybody, when the nations all the nations that had a hand in your oppression. They drink it from the cup of America. They get rich off your backs, put stores in your neighborhood, benefit off your hard work and labor, and you don't understand that it's a time to kill. Oh, thou said, the Bible says thou shalt not kill. Yeah, that kill is talking about killing your brother unjustly. That the stuff that we glorify in this music nowadays. The stuff that the YNs listen to, and old heads that had that YN spirit. We was at Virginia State homecoming, out there giving the word out. It's brothers 55, 60 years old in the golf cart bumping NBA Youngboy. I'm like, bro, this is wow. My granddaddy would have never played this. My granddaddy would have been like, what is this? We don't want to act our age. So by being the older generation is lost, what you think gonna happen to the younger generation? But they always want to find fault on what the Israelite teach. Seen the video with Charleston White talking about he don't respect no Israelites because we ain't doing nothing in the community. See, the problem is our people always want a damn fish fry. You always want a handout. No, I can give you the keys to a Lamborghini, but if you don't know how to operate it, what you gonna do? You gonna crash it. I can give you a job paying $30 an hour. If you gonna show up late, if you gonna come to work smelling like weed, come to work drunk, come to work not dressed in the proper attire, what's going to happen? You're going to get fired. So the spirit of a person got to change first. That's what we're doing. But our people overlook that because we don't understand spiritual things. Why? Because we so carnal. We so carnal. Read verse 3 again.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 3 and verse 3.
Mm-hmm.
A time to kill, and a time to heal, a time to break down, and a time to build up.
So understanding all these things, it's a time to kill, meaning it's a time for war. We have to understand as a nation of people, war's being waged on us spiritually. Through policies and through procedures. So now we got to come back to what worked when the nations turned against us. Or when the nations turned up the heat on us, I should say. We always repented and cried out to our God. And he always saved us. How you look like crying out to a God that look like the people killing you? Nah, that don't make sense. A time to heal. We got to heal first. But the only thing that's going to nullify us or the ointment for our bumps and bruises and scars is the main thing people run away from. The Bible. Why? Because the Bible show you how dirty you is. The Bible show you the things you need to work on. The Bible stops allowing you to point the finger and say, nah, it's me. Point the finger at myself first. A time to break down and a time to build up. We already been broken down as a people. We can't be broken down on anymore. We don't know who we are. We don't know our culture. We don't know our heritage. We don't know where we going. We don't know what us is. We think twerking and selling dope and being players and shooting a damn football, all these things, we think this is our culture. When it's just a byproduct of who we are. Sis, ain't nobody telling you can't twerk. Twerk for your husband. It don't need to be seen. You don't need to pull the camera out. Look what I got. No, say that for your husband. Twerk for your husband. That's who it's for. But we want to be so lewd. Why? Because we don't understand we in a time where we need to be built up. And all the time, being built up ain't pretty. Somebody got to get dirty. Somebody got to do the dirty work. Somebody got to look you in your face and tell you, hey, if you don't repent, God going to kill you. Hey, you need to get yourself together, brother. You need to get yourself together, sister. God don't like homosexuals. You telling me God going to kill you? Kill me? Yes. Point blank range, yes. If you don't stop doing what you're doing. It ain't time to get emotional. It's time for results. It's one thing our people understood, but you first must understand that under the heavens, it's a time and a place for everything. Verse 7.
Verse 7. A time to rend and a time to sow.
Mm-hmm.
A time to keep silent and a time to speak.
This is another thing that we got to learn as a people. How to shut the hell up. Just because somebody say something you don't agree with, you don't know nothing about, now you ready to speak out and get emotional. Be quiet. See where we coming from first. But you can't because what? You stepping up to brothers that put their time in, that the Most High done sent forth, and now you coming with the same people doctrine that oppress you and trying to defend something you don't understand. But we so quick to run our mouth. We so quick to talk. Why? Because these devices in our hand think that that your opinion is so great. When our people get backed up against the wall, we start saying stuff. I don't want to hear I want to hear what you think. This is what I think. Read. This is what I think. Because I understand that my mindset, or the mindset I used to have, was a byproduct of the problem that was in the community. I'm a creature. I was created for a purpose. Now let me seek the purpose. Let me seek the creator and see why he created me. Oh, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. This is how I'm supposed to think. This is how I'm supposed to feel. You can think your car a boat all day. I bet you won't drive it into the water. Because you know better. Verse 8.
Verse 8. A time to love and a time to hate. A time of war and a time of peace.
See, the thing with our people is, we don't understand. Oh, we say it's a time to love. We skip over a time to hate, and we go right to a time. We skip over a time to war, and we go right to. Why can't we all just get along? We gotta love everybody. Now, when God says it's a time to love, He talking about your people. There's never a time where you shouldn't be loving your people. Where everything at peace. We not at peace right now in our nation. So it's a time to look out and see, okay, we at wartime. We ain't at peace. But we chilling like everything good. This is what Feast of Dedication is all about. Because it's about our forefathers looking and seeing that, it's a time for war. It ain't time to be peaceful. It's a time to kill. It's a time to take back the things that a nation has done to us. It's a time to fight back. Even though we might not have numbers. We got the Most High God. Which we're going to get into that as we go through class. First Maccabees chapter 2 and verse 45. I know we say this a lot, but keep this in mind. It's a time and a place for everything. So now, when we go through the scriptures, not only think about ancient times, but think about times we're in now. As you see the day of Christ approaching. As you see wars and rumors of wars and things are starting to pick up. Probably going to do a class about that in January once we get past. Probably be like the second or third class in January. Because I want to knock these idols out the box. We're going to get a double-minded God, a.k.a. Janus. We're going to hit all them idols, man. Give our people some ammunition, the people that want to learn. First Maccabees 2 and verse 45.
The book of First Maccabees, chapter 2 and verse 45.
Yes, Lord.
Then Mattathias and his friends went round about.
Mattathias and his friends. How you ain't going to war with somebody you don't trust. But in order for us to trust you, all us got to have the same mindset. All us got to be fighting for the same purpose. That's why people be like, man, why the Israelites don't get with the gangs and we just now? Because I don't know what you capable of. If you ain't keeping commandments. We liable to be at camp and you just start firing off. Yeah, that go Whitey. Like, bro, nah, bro. It ain't that time for that yet. You up the Drake on them now. We all got a murder charge. So you got to know who you battling with. You got to know who you fighting against, and who's your adversaries and who's your enemies. That's why over here, when you come learn, we give you a chance to sit down and learn and see if this is what you really want to do. You don't get no shirt and go out to camp the first time or the first month you over. No. You got to understand why you going to camp. What's your purpose for going to camp? It ain't just yell at white people. It's a purpose for us going to camp. It's a reason why we're going out there. Read that from the top again.
The book of First Maccabees, chapter 2 and verse 45. Then Mattathias and his friends went round about and pulled down the altar, and what children soever they found within the coast of Israel circumcised.
Right.
Uncircumcised.
Right. Whatever children they found uncircumcised, read.
Those they circumcised valiantly.
Right. Because they seen that what? It was a time to build up. So they snatched down the idols and the things that our people and the customs of our people that we didn't keep. And one of the customs that our people kept was circumcision. Well, let me start circumcising these children. Why? So the laws of the Most High can be put back within our nation. That's something we have gotten away from. Now you seeing people you see Esau having marches about, you got grown men with red spots in front of their pants talking about they didn't consent to circumcision. This is the madness of this place. Read.
Verse 47. They pursue also after the proud men, and the work prospered in their hands.
They pursued after the proud men that think they can just come against God's people and nothing gonna happen to them. They pursued after them. And the work that they're doing on behalf of the Most High, it prospered. I mean, it's just like at one point in time, we used to be in a house. Now we got a school. Now you're starting to see the Lord prospering the works of your hands because you're doing thus said the Lord. So just like we can look back here and say, Oh, they was doing that which was righteous. It was good deeds that they were doing. So the Lord allowed it to flourish. He allowed it to prosper. Read.
Verse 48. So they recovered the law out of the hand of the Gentiles.
Right, from the other nations. It was meant for them. Why they recovered it from them? These are actual Gentiles. These ain't Israelites in the state of mind of the Gentiles. They recovered the law from the people that they ain't have no business with it. Now all of a sudden, how you get up in the New Testament now it's for them? That don't make sense. That's a lie that the world pushes. Now this book is only for the Israelites. Read.
So they recovered the law out of the hand of the Gentiles and out of the hand of kings. Neither suffered they the sinner to triumph.
Man, they was putting people to death. Read.
Verse 49. Now when the time drew near that Mattathias should die, he said unto his sons, now hath pride and rebuke gotten strength, in the time of destruction, in the wrath of indignation. Now therefore, my sons, be ye zealous for the law.
Be ye zealous for the law. Which means be zealous for the Lord, because that's how you please the Most High, by what? Keeping the law. So be zealous for the law. Read.
And give your lives for the covenant of your fathers.
And give your life for the covenant, for the promise that was given to your forefathers. Give your life for it. It's an honorable thing. Don't be afraid to die. That's the problem. Everybody's scared. But they train us what? When you in high school, I remember at one point in time, I was like, yeah, man, if I go, I want to die playing football. Yeah, that's something that a 17-year-old should say. Stupid. I was stupid. I look back on that, I was like, Lord, thank you for not killing me out here on this little dumb baby. Because now I see that I don't live life. It's much greater things that I'd much rather lay down my life for. Football, a game. It's not reality. It's not real life. Read.
Verse 51. Call to remembrance what acts our fathers did in their time.
And call to remembrance the acts that our forefathers did in their time. By them understanding it's a time and a place for everything. A time to heal, a time to kill, a time for war and a time for peace, a time to pluck up, a time for to be planted. They understood these things, so they was able to operate and things was able to run smoothly, if you will. Read.
So shall you receive great honor and an everlasting name.
And to this day, we still talking about the Maccabees. We still talking about Mattathias and his sons. We still talking about the heroic works that our people did by fighting the Greeks. That's an everlasting honor. But this is what the Most High can do for you. To this day, we still reading about Paul and Peter. To this day, we still honoring Christ. Read.
Verse 52. Was not Abraham found faithful in temptation? And it was imputed unto him for righteousness. Joseph, in the time of his distress, kept the commandment and was made Lord of Egypt.
Right. Even it's going through the history. These people had that warrior spirit, that fight spirit. Yeah, Joseph went out there swinging swords, but he stood strongly for the Most High. That's one of the first steps in being a warrior. I'm staying for the Lord. The Lord don't want no coward. Read.
Verse 54. Phineas, our father, in being zealous and fervent, obtained the covenant of an everlasting priesthood. Jesus,
talking about Joshua.
Jesus, for fulfilling the word, was made a judge in Israel. Caleb, for bearing witness before the congregation, received the heritage of the land.
Right, because you read in Numbers that they had another spirit on them. Remember they went to the land and spied out, and they seen the giants and the clusters of fruit, grapes, one cluster about the size of your head. Seen men carrying grapes. They came back and was just like, man, the land is for the taking. The word they used, it said, man, it's like bread. I mean, it's like it's a piece of cake. It's easy. But the people that had that fearful spirit, I was like, nah, I don't think we can do it. Those warriors of the Most High, they always have a different spirit on them. They don't look at the odds. 2 of us, 1,000 of them. I like our odds. I'm with the Most High God. Let the Lord get his name. That's why when we go through things, whether it be sickness, whether it be different ailments, whether it be hard times financially, whether it be times in the marriage or times in the congregation with friends or whatever the case may be, let the Most High get his glory. But the only way that's going to happen if you apply the scriptures. My family member had cancer. I was like, hey, sis, you know this is a time for the Most High to get his glory, right? Don't look at it as a time to, oh, war is me. Nah, this is a chance for the Most High to show his power. That's how we should look at it. Whatever ailment or whatever I'm going, oh yeah, this is a time for the Most High to show that he real. The doctors be looking at the, damn, we don't see nothing no more. Read.
Verse 57. David, for being merciful, possessed the throne of an everlasting kingdom. Verse 58. Elias, for being zealous and fervent for the law, was taken up into heaven.
Right, you read about Elijah being for lack of a better word, what is it? What Goku be doing? Instant transmission. The chariot picked this man up. Read.
Verse 59. Ananias, Azarias, and Mishael.
Who that is, Elijah? Who is Ananias, Azariah, and Mishael? Right. We always call them Shadrach, Meshach, and the bad Negro. Those were their slave names, but their Hebrew name was Ananias, Azariah, and Mishael. By believing, we're saved out of the flame. When you read in Daniel, they say our God can save us. Well, whether he do or whether he ain't, we still gonna serve him. That's the mindset we must have. Read.
Verse 60. Daniel, for his innocency, was delivered from the mouth of lions. And thus consider ye throughout all ages, that none that put their trust in him shall be overcome. Verse 62. Fear not then the words of a sinful man.
Don't fear the words of a person that's in the midst of sin. Because they got so much pride on them. These politicians and these judges and these presidents, these people that come up with these policies and these procedures and these different orders, effective immediately. This is what we gonna do. And we get so scared and so shooken from these fearful men, as if we don't serve a God who created the air that we breathe that we can't see. A sun that we can't even look straight into. But we want to fear sinful men. Nah, don't fear these men. They gonna do what they gonna do, and the Most High gonna do what he gonna do. Read.
Fear not then the words of a sinful man, for his glory shall be dung and worms.
But his glory gonna be dung and worms. That's what's gonna be. His glory gonna be death. Read.
Verse 63. Today he shall be lifted up, and tomorrow he shall not be found.
So today he shall be lifted up, but tomorrow he ain't gonna be found. He gonna be put to death. Read.
Because he is returned into his dust. And his thought is come to nothing.
And his thoughts, the things that he wanted to do against God's chosen people, is come to nothing. He can't even carry them out. This is the type of God that we serve. So knowing these things and understanding that this is how the nations upon the earth truly feel about us, now we should start to move a certain way. But we put all our trust in this man's system. 1 Maccabees 3 and verse 10.
The book of 1 Maccabees, chapter 3 and verse 10. Then Apollonius gathered the Gentiles together in a great host out of Samaria to fight against Israel.
So you seeing these generals and these people that lead armies, you see them always gathering hosts of people to come against Israel. So when you look in history, you look through these time periods, they'll always tell you that the Jews was outmatched. But We want outpowered. Read.
Verse 11. Which thing when Judas perceived, he went forth to meet him, and so he smote him and slew him.
Judas ain't wait. Judas want. Remember how we used to be? I want all the smoke. So he ran up on him, and he killed him. Read.
Many also fell down slain, but the rest fled.
Mm-hmm.
Wherefore Judas took their spoils, and Apollonius swore also.
He killed him, and he took his sword. Read.
And therewith he fought all his life long.
Mm-hmm.
Now when Saron, a prince of the army of Syria, heard say that Judas had gathered unto him a multitude and a company out of the faithful to go out with him to war, he said, I will get me a name, and honor in the kingdom, for I will go fight with Judas and them that are with him, who despise the king's commandment.
Read on.
So he made him ready to go up, and there went with him a mighty host of the ungodly to help him, and to be avenged of the children of Israel.
Read on.
And when he came near to the going up of Betharon, Judas went forth to meet him with a small company.
So you see this large company, this large army. Judas got a small army. Let's see what happened. Read.
Verse 17. Who, when they saw the host coming to meet them, said unto Judas, how shall we be able, being so few, to fight against so great a multitude and so strong, seeing we are ready to faint with fasting all this day?
So think about what we up against when we go out to the streets. You up against Google scholarship. You up against years of oppression. You up against hard-headed people that don't want to listen. You just like, man, how can us, knowing what we know, how can we fight this machine? How can we fight this system? Man, to us, sometimes it don't seem like it be happening fast enough. But you never know who these classes touch. You never knew who these videos touch. The Most High word do not go out void. Remember, the Lord never needed a lot of people to get his point across. You even see during the time of Gideon, they had a lot of men going into a war. The Most High said, nah, cut this number down some more. He said, how I know who to pick, Lord? He said, when they go drink their water, he said, everyone that lappeth, that's the one I choose. The Most High cut that number down from thousands of men to 300. And they went and won the battle. The Most High don't never need he don't want people to get the glory. The only reason why we won because it was a bunch of us. Nah, the Lord said, nah, you gonna know it was me. You gonna know I had a hand in it. So they got this great army in Judas and them. They don't have the exact same multitude of people. He said, and we've been fasting. We not at all full of strength. What a great time for the Lord to show his power. Read.
Verse 18. Unto whom Judas answered, it is no hard matter for many to be shut up in the hands of a few.
It's not a hard thing. It's not a hard thing. Case in point. Old as Mike Tyson is, if you put him in a room full of just everyday people that don't have no real training, don't have no hand-to-hand combat, how many people you think Mike Tyson will run through before they able to do him? It's going to be probably till he get tired. Because I'm letting you know now, he one hit a quitter and everybody he hit. It's over. And this is Mike Tyson in his older age. This ain't even him in his prime. So it's not far-fetched for one person to take out many people when you're skilled. Now multiply that times you being powered by the Spirit of the Most High. When we read through scriptures and you see a man throw a spear and it go through hundreds of people. You see a man rip a lion apart. You see David slew a giant with a stone and a slingshot. Read verse 18 again.
The book of 1 Maccabees, chapter 3 and verse 18. Unto whom Judas answered, it is no hard matter for many to be shut up in the hands of a few.
It's not a hard thing. Read.
And with the God of heaven, it is all one.
It is all one. It's one thing. It's one and the same. Light work, as we like to say. Read.
To deliver with a great multitude or a small company.
So whether it's hundreds of people or thousands of people, it's all the same to the Most High. The Most High can deliver with a lot, or he can deliver with a few. You look at when Christ come back, and it's going to be the angels and the 144,000, it's going to be a world war. When you look at that mind frame, the Israelites are going to be outnumbered. But you see with that number, that what? They're going to subdue the nations. Because of the power that they have. Because of the God that's ruling over everything has chosen them and gave them this power that we can't even fathom. You think what's the means? Power levels 9,000. You think that's how you think that's how? Wait till you see an Israelite that made it to the 144. That power gonna be crazy. Read.
Verse 19. For the victory of battle standeth not in the multitude of an host.
The victory of the battle don't stand. It ain't won by you outnumbering the other people in battle. Now you still, it's just like football or basketball. You still got to go out there and score touchdowns. You still got to go out there and make baskets. So the work got to be done in the field. You don't get the nod because you outnumber somebody. Nah. Shalom G Paul, Most High Christ bless. So for the victory of battle standeth not in the multitude of an host. Read.
But strength cometh from heaven.
But strength cometh from heaven. Strength, power, might come from the Lord. This is what we got to realize as God's chosen people. When we start to feel defeated in life and, damn, man, I just feel like, this ain't, people not listening, man, keep pushing. Keep pushing. Keep the charge of the Lord. Read.
Verse 20. They come against us in much pride and iniquity.
But they come against us in much pride and much iniquity. Read.
To destroy us.
They think we light work. Dumb niggas, they don't know nothing. Dumb spicks, dumb wetbacks, they don't know nothing. They ain't that many. They're not as powerful as Christianity. Look how many churches that we have around the world, and look at the things that we're able to accomplish. And somebody that just flipped burgers 12 hours ago at camp, ragdogging your pastor. Somebody that you look down upon, make my food, and somebody that just deliver your packages at Amazon through the week, tearing your pastor up on the Sabbath. Cut them turn them every which way but loose. He getting slaughtered. Somebody yell like, he needs some milk. But these are people they look down on. The person that's cleaning your car. The person that might paint your house. But it ain't about the pride of the world. It's about what the Most High equipped his people with. Read.
They come against us in much pride and iniquity to destroy us and our wives and children and to spoil us.
Right.
But we fight for our lives and our laws.
We fight for our lives and our laws. At one point in time, I never thought, man, I'll be this into the Bible and care so much about this book. If you had to pick and choose, somebody say, hey man, you ready for somebody to slap your burger out your hand or slap your Bible out your hand? You slap my food out my hand, I'm going to be upset. If you slap my Bible out my hand, you might get hit. You might get hands put on you. Because I understand this meaning, this is just not a book to us. This is something that the Lord gave to us, that he only gave to us, that other people don't have, no problem, shouldn't be dealing with. So we fight for our lives, because this tell us how to live. So this is how while I'm on earth, this is how I should live. And Lord say the same, we get eternal life. That's why this word is compared to the breath of life, because it's that important. Nehemiah 4:14. We was in North Carolina teaching one time. a couple years ago, and the whole fight broke out over a sister grabbing a brother's Bible. She was one of them. She was one of them women that thinks she a man too. She was one of them.
The book of Nehemiah, chapter 4, verse 14.
Uh-huh.
And I looked and rose up and said unto the nobles and to the rulers and to the rest of the people, be not ye afraid of them.
Don't be afraid of them. They more in number. They coming up with different things to oppress us. Don't be afraid of them. Read.
Be not ye afraid of them. Remember the Lord.
Remember the Lord. See what type of courage or what type of spirit come upon a person when they remember the Lord? It's just like the woman tell women nowadays, you've been dealing with a man and y'all break up and you crying, ain't did your hair. You musky, you ain't showered in day, you just in the room crying. And then what they say, remember who you is, sis. Then you remember like, yeah, I am her. Then you get yourself together. Likewise. Man, remember who we are as a nation of people. Remember our pedigree. The great things that the Lord have done on our behalf. How the Most High only chose us. Now you can shake off this rut of a feeling and woe is me mindset. Nah, man, I'm greatness. My name means Prince of the Power. I come from the lineage of kings, great men, honorable women. Read.
Be not ye afraid of them. Remember the Lord, which is great and terrible, and fight for your brethren, your sons and your daughters, your wives and your houses.
This is what we should be fighting for. So it's not during the time of the Maccabees. It's not the first time that Israel had to go on a full display and fight for their wives, their children, their brothers, their sisters, and their laws. But every time that person that's leading the charge or leading the speech, they always draw back from things that happened before them. That's why Barak went over Romans 15:4. Things that are written aforetime are written for our learning, that we through comfort and patience of the scripture, these things give us hope. Because if you see something every time you do it, it worked. It ain't no different than playing a video game. You can type in right now, cheat plays on Madden. And you go online and on YouTube, it's some white dude on there that play games for a living. He gonna give you all the cheat plays on Madden. The real deep posts, it don't matter what man they in or zone they in, you know, it can't be stopped. You see that play work over and over and over. When you get in the pinch, what you gonna run? That play that can't be stopped, right? Likewise, if we see that our strength is of the Most High, and every time that we are in dire needs, we call out to our God and He comes save us as long as we righteous and standing uprightly. I ain't gotta look nowhere else. It's just like if somebody every time they give me a parlay that's on hit, I'm putting in that parlay they put. I'm telling it. Likewise with the Most High, man, the Most High never led us astray. He never let us down. But we gotta remember. We gotta remember. One part of not remembering is keeping the other nations' feast days. That's how you forget. Because now you ain't keeping the things that the Lord gave you. You ain't remembering your culture and your heritage. By you keeping another person's identity, what happened to yours? It dies. It fades away. Because you're not doing the things that was given to you for identity. You're acting like another people. Genesis 14 and verse 1. See what Abraham did. Or Abram. Because a lot of people look at Abram and just be like, oh, he was just an old man and he wasn't always old. People be thinking these prophets be weak. 14 and verse 1. Yes, sir.
The book of Genesis, chapter 14 and verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
And it came to pass in the days of Amphriel, king of Shinar, Arioch, king of Elisar,
My bad. I had to do this to you. Read on.
Shedolamer, king of Elam, and Tidal, king of nations, that these made war with Barak, king of Sodom, and with Bersha, king of Gomorrah, Shinab, king of Admah, and Shimmer, king of Zeboam, and the king of Bela, which is Zoar.
Right, so now you're reading about all these great kings, or these kings over these different cities or countries, or if you will. Read on.
Verse 3. All these were joined together in the vale of Siddim, which is the Salt Sea.
Jump over to verse 13.
Verse 13. And there came one that had escaped, and told Abram the Hebrew, for he dwelt in the plain of Mamre the Amorite, brother of Eshcol, and brother of Anna. And these were confederate with Abram.
Read on.
And when Abram heard that his brother was taken captive, he armed his trained servants, born in his own house, 318, and pursued them into Dan.
Right, because they came and kidnapped Lot. Read.
Verse 15. And he divided himself against them, he and his servants, by night, and smote them, and pursued them unto Hobah, which is on the left hand of Damascus.
Right, so it's telling you that Abraham led the charge, and they put some people to death. This is a great war between kings, called like the War of the Kings. Read.
Verse 16. And he brought back all the goods.
He brought back all the goods.
And also brought again his brother Lot.
He brought back Lot. Read.
And his goods, and the woman also, and the people.
Right, so he went and got the women, the children, everybody that they taken, and they brought back their goods back. You gotta be a bad boy. You got 318 men? Yeah, 318 men, and you went and fought against a war against kings. Kings don't have small armies. Where Abram went and laid people flat. Read.
Verse 17. And the king of Sodom went out to meet him after his return from the slaughter of Chedorlaomer, and of the kings that were with him, at the valley of Sheba, which is the king's dale. And Melchizedek, king of Salem, brought forth bread and wine, and he was the priest of the Most High God.
All praises. Read.
And he blessed him. And he said, Blessed be Abram of the Most High God, possessor of heaven and earth.
Blessed be Abram. He a servant of the Most High. The Most High got favor on this man. What Abram just did was miraculous. He's like, man showed over 318 people and put people to death. Recovered his people, their goods, that they lack nothing. Read verse 20.
Verse 20. And blessed be the Most High God, which have delivered thine enemies into thy hand.
Blessed be the Most High God, which have delivered. The Most High done this. That's why Judas is saying what? That it's a small thing for the Most High to shut up many with a few. He says strength coming from heaven. It's not the first. You know why Judas is able to say that? Because he read in the law, or he read in his the history about Abraham and other warriors and other wars that our people was in, and the Most High delivered them. So this ain't something he making up. He ain't guessing. And the Most High done this 10 times over. There's nothing new for the Lord to do it for us. Jump to 1 Samuel 15. There's another one that a lot of people be sleeping on. Samuel. I remember the first time I read this, I was like, "God, leave."
What verse is it?
23.
The book of 1 Samuel, chapter 15 and verse 23. For rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft.
Right. So you being rebellious, being disobedient to the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High, it's up there with witchcraft. And you read back in the Old Testament, the scripture, I suffer not a witch to live. They got put to death. Read.
For rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft, and stubbornness as iniquity and idolatry.
Right. So you being stubborn. I'm doing this for the kids, or I'm doing this. Well, I know it ain't no such rabbits don't lay eggs, but I got to make sure the kids got they. Nah, you being stubborn. You being stubborn. In the midst of idol worship, you being stubborn instead of repenting and turning away from it. Read.
And stubbornness is as iniquity and idolatry, because thou hast rejected the word of the Lord.
Because you rejected the Most High commandments. Read.
We have also rejected thee from being king.
Mm-hmm.
And Saul said unto Samuel, I have sinned, for I have transgressed the commandment of the Lord and thy words, because I fear the people and obey their voice. Now therefore I pray thee, pardon my sin, and turn again with me, that I may worship the Lord. And Samuel said unto Saul, I will not return with thee, for thou hast rejected the word of the Lord, and the Lord hath rejected thee from being king over Israel.
Man, read.
Verse 27. And as Samuel turned about to go away, he laid hold upon the skirt of his mantle, and it rent. And Samuel said unto him, the Lord hath rent the kingdom of Israel from thee this day,
Oh my goodness.
and hath given it to a neighbor of thine that is better than thou.
Which is we know now is to be David. Read. That's who ended up ruling after Samuel. I mean, not Samuel, Saul.
Verse 29. And also the strength of Israel will not lie nor repent, for he is not a man that he should repent.
Mm-hmm.
Then he said, I have sinned, yet honor me now, I pray thee, before the elders of my people and before Israel, and turn again with me, that I may worship the Lord thy God.
Mm-hmm.
So Samuel turned again after Saul, and Saul worshipped the Lord. Then said Samuel, bring ye hither to me Agag,
right.
the king of the Amalekites.
Right, because Edomites, one of the sects of Edomites, the Amalekites. Saul was told that when he went there to kill him, but Saul didn't. He listened to the people. He really blaming it on the people. But you the king, you get the authority, you get the order. The Lord told him, don't bring none of their sacrifices. Don't bring none of the. Don't bring none of the animals. Kill everything. They was like, nah, we took the best animals and for you, Lord. Now the Lord ain't tell you to do that. So you were supposed to kill Agag and you didn't. So Saul say, bring me hither Agag, king of the Amalekites. Read.
And Agag came unto him delicately. And Agag said, surely the bitterness of death is past.
You ever see somebody chained up in a movie and they come before you and they acting all humble and walking daintily and light? That doesn't mean delicately. Surely, what do you say? Surely the bitterness of death past. No, where he's saying you after all this time and you have some time to think about you still don't want to kill me, do you? Let's see what Samuel did.
Verse 33. And Samuel said, as thy sword hath made women childless.
As you have killed many people, your sword by your doings have made a lot of women childless. You have killed a lot of women's children. Read.
So shall thy mother be childless among women.
Can you imagine somebody's face right before they kill you, they tell you that? The same way you killed a lot of people and made women, you took their child away from them, that's how you finna be. Read.
And Samuel hewed Agag in pieces before the Lord in Gilgal.
You ever seen that movie Blade, when Blade was killing the vampire and he was just flipping the sword out in front of him, just going through and killing them? That's what I think about. I think about all people with machetes in the rainforest or whatever, just chopping them tall bushes down. That's what hewing look like. You just go to, as we like to say, man, he beat the brakes off you. But Samuel did it with a sword. He hewn them into pieces. See, these are things we don't think about when we think about these prophets. We just thinking about them coming to people and prophesying. These were real men of the Lord. Because Samuel understood what? It's a time and a place for everything. So I ain't just gonna walk around putting people to death. Oh, but the Lord said he wanted Agag dead. And since Saul says you can't do it, I'm gonna carry out the Lord's wishes. I'm gonna put Agag to death so the people will see. Nah, it ain't nothing sweet. You gonna do what the Lord said do. Because it's a time and a place for everything. And this is what our people got to learn. We in spiritual war right now. Physical war ain't came yet, but it's going to come. 1 Samuel 30 and verse 1. I was going to go to the story of David and Goliath, but everybody know that one. So I went to another one of my favorite ones where David got active. You start at verse 1.
The book of 1 Samuel, chapter 30 and verse 1. And it came to pass, when David and his men were come to Ziklag on the third day, that the Amalekites had invaded the south, and smitten Ziklag, and it burned it with fire. And had taken the women captives that were therein. They slew not any, either great or small, but carried them away and went on their way.
Right, so they came into Ziklag, laid it desolate, took all things, took the women and children, set it on fire. Read.
Verse 3. So David and his men came to the city, and behold, it was burned with fire.
Right, and it was done by the same people, the Amalekites. Saul was told to kill the king of the Amalekites, and he didn't. So Samuel did it. So you can imagine the beef that stirred up between these two nations. Oh, it's time to get it on. Read.
It was burned with fire, and their wives and their sons and their daughters were taken captive. Then David and the people that were with him lifted up their voice and wept, until they had no more power to weep. And David's two wives were taken captives.
Right, so that means, boy, they was crying. They cried. They cried like babies. Read.
Ahinoam, Jezreelitess, and Abigail, the wife of Nabal the Carmelite. And David was greatly distressed.
Greatly distressed. Read.
And David was greatly distressed, for the people spake of stoning him.
To the point to where people wanted to kill David because they blaming him for it. Read.
Because the soul of all the people was grieved, every man for his sons and for his daughters.
Jump down to verse 10.
Verse 10. But David pursued, he and 400 men, for 200 abode behind, which were so faint that they could not go over the brook Besor.
Right, so you read in verse 9 and tell you 600, but they cut that down to 200 because they cut it down by 200 because 200 men couldn't carry on. Read.
Verse 11. And they found an Egyptian in the field, and brought him to David, and gave him bread, and he did eat. And they made him drink water. And they gave him a piece of a cake of figs, and 2 clusters of raisins. And when he had eaten, his spirit came again to him, for he had eaten no bread, nor drunk any water.
You see how generals think? Now, most people just would have killed this dude. But David like, nah, we can use him. Some information out of him. They fed him. Wait till he got his strength back. Now here come the questions. Read. Verse 13.
Verse 13. And David said unto him, to whom belongest thou?
Who you belong to? Read.
Whence art thou? And he said, I'm a young man of Egypt, servant to an Amalekite.
Ah, servant to the Amalekites. Who came and burned Ziklag? The Amalekites. See how generals think? Now this man been done wrong. You think he gonna be in the best interest to uphold his master? He been left for dead. Now you done fed him and nursed him back to full strength. Let's see what he do. Read.
And my master left me because 3 days agone I fell sick. Verse 14. We made an invasion upon the south of the Cherethites, and upon the coast which belongeth to Judah, and upon the south of Caleb, and we burned Ziklag with fire.
Oh, y'all did. Okay. That's my place. Proceed on.
Verse 15. And David said to him, Canst thou bring me down to this company?
Can you bring me to these people? You know where they went? Read.
And he said, Swear unto me by God, that thou wilt neither kill me, nor deliver me into the hands of my master, and I will bring thee down to this company.
Right, so we see the same trick used on people on what? First 48. You see the exact same tactic used. They be in there, they cold. They in there, they in there. You ain't ate since they done capture you. They been in there questioning you. Smoke cigarettes? Yeah, I smoke. They bring you a cigarette. Bring you a Coke. Get you comfortable, see if you talk a little bit. And then they bring, you know when they really snitch, when you see that McDonald's bag on the table. You see they done supersized that thing. Everybody say the same thing. Oh, he finna tell. He finna tell. They got that big Popeyes box in there, full of chicken, red beans, and rice. You like, oh, he finna tell. What they do once after they get done eating? They tell. That's an old tactic. David did the exact same thing. Fed him, nursed him back. He said, hey man, swear to me you ain't gonna kill me or you ain't gonna turn me back over to my mouth. Hey, I'll tell you everything you want to know. Read.
Verse 16. And when he had brought them down, behold, they were spread abroad upon all the earth, eating and drinking.
They was having a good time. Read.
And dancing, because of all the great spoil they had taken out of the land of the Philistines and out of the land of Judah.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 17. And David smote them from the twilight even unto the even of the next day.
How long David was killing them? Man, all day and all night. Read that one more time. Boy, you gotta have the Spirit of the Lord on you to fight that long.
The book of 1 Samuel, chapter 30 and verse 17. And David smote them from the twilight, even until the evening of the next day. And there escaped not a man of them, save 400 young men, which rode upon camels and fled.
Man, all the ones that got away, the ones that fled. Them probably was the ones that was on camel. You know, you seen soon as the fight break out, you just be like, hey, I either fight or I flee. I'm going to go, oh, that look like David. Yeah, I'm going to get up out of here. They got the hell out of Dodge. David fought from the twilight of one evening all the way to the next because the Spirit of the Lord was on him. Because they done took his wives, they done took his people, they done took their stuff, burnt where they were staying. Oh, David said, y'all got to pay. But it's all because the Spirit of the Lord was on him. He was thinking like a general, oh, I can use this person. Nursed him, fed him, brought him back to his health. He snitched. Now he able to go down there and retrieve his people. Now, if I'm thinking like a hothead, I ain't thinking smart. Oh, you was with them. Now I kill you. Now I lost my lead. Read.
Verse 18. And David recovered all that the Amalekites had carried away.
You got all their stuff. Read.
And David rescued his 2 wives.
And he got his wives. Read.
And there was nothing lacking to them, neither small nor great, neither sons nor daughters, neither spoil, nor anything that they had taken to them. David recovered all.
Right, so just like what? Abram, when he went into their wars with the kings, he got everything back. They weren't lacking nothing. This is what the Most High do for you. David likewise. So during the time of Judas Maccabeus, then they reading this history and they referring to it. And their spirit is getting amped up, if you will. They're getting fueled. They're getting fire to fight. Because they've seen the mighty works that the Most High done for Israel throughout different time periods. Daniel 3 and verse 14.
The book of Daniel, chapter 3 and verse 14. Nebuchadnezzar spake and said unto them, Is it true, O Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego?
Right, remember they referred to him? Remember Judas referred to him? Mishael, Azariah, Ananiah? He referred to them about how they had faith when they went into the fiery furnace. This is what he referring to. Read.
Do not ye serve my gods, nor worship the golden image which I set up.
Oh, so you ain't gonna serve the idols I set up? Like our people today, we serving the idols of our oppressor. They didn't do that during their time. Read.
Verse 15. Now if you be ready that at what time ye hear the sound of the cornet, flute, harp, sackbut, psaltery, and dulcimer, and all kinds of music, ye fall down and worship the image which I made.
They start raising that American flag and they start playing. People stand up, put their hand over their heart. The jets fly over. People crying. You crying to this idol. Read.
Ye fall down and worship the image which I made. Well, but if you worship not, ye shall be cast the same hour into the midst of a burning fiery furnace. And who is that God that shall deliver you out of my hands?
You must don't know what type of God I serve. Hold my bill. Watch what my God do. Read.
Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego answered and said to the king, O Nebuchadnezzar, we are not careful to answer thee in this matter.
We not careful to answer thee in this matter. We not finna tell you smooth things and cater to you. We're gonna tell you how powerful our God is. You ever been trying to be nice to a person, and it might be a close friend, and women, y'all do this a lot. Men, that one homeboy that just can't leave. Man, why old girl keep treating me like this? Man, why she just won't love me? You be like, bruh, listen. He's just like, bruh, she don't care about you. She don't love you. She treats you like trash. Bruh, let her go, bruh. She's pulling you down. You ain't been keeping up with us. All like, you be like, hey, sis, hey, bruh ain't nothing. All right, I'm trying not to use colorful words, but you get fed up to a person, you just be like, all right, you want the truth or you want me to be honest? Because it's the same thing, but it's different. Honesty, it's truth in it, but I'm going to get to you raw because you need to hear it. I ain't finna be careful with how I answer you right now because I'm letting you know how mighty our God is. Ain't nobody afraid of you, bro. Read.
And who is that God that shall deliver you out of my hand?
Because he talking greasy. Read.
Verse 17. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego answered and said to the king, O Nebuchadnezzar, we are not careful to answer thee in this matter. Sorry, that was verse 16.
No, you good.
Verse 17. If it be so, our God, whom we serve, is able to deliver us from the burning fiery furnace, and he will deliver us out of thy hand, O king.
If it's within his power, it's well within his range to do such a thing. We ain't serving you, dog. Read.
Verse 18. But if not, be it known unto thee, O king, that we will not serve thy God, nor worship the golden image which thou hast set up.
We not bowing down, even if it take our life. We not bowing down. Read.
Then was Nebuchadnezzar full of fury.
He was hot.
And the form of his visage was changed against Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego.
Y'all ever seen The Matrix? You remember when old boy got mad at the agents got mad at Neo? They just started shaking and foaming at the mouth because they were so filled up with rage. That's how Nebuchadnezzar was. How dare you talk to me like this? I'm king, man. Nobody care, bro. You ain't nobody. We only here because we disobeyed our God, bro. That's why we in captivity. That's why you was able to come into Jerusalem, lay it flat, kill us, take our people, and bring us into captivity because we disobeyed. You don't got no real strength. Read.
Verse 19. There was Nebuchadnezzar full of fury. The form of his visage was changed against Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Therefore he spake, and commanded that they should heat the furnace 17 times more than it was wont to be heated.
So now he finna make it hotter. Still ain't gonna matter. You talking, I serve a God that created fire. Read.
Verse 20.
This the point you missing, Nebuchadnezzar. Read.
And he commanded the most mighty men that were in his army to bind Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego.
Right, make sure y'all tie them niggas up tight. I need the strongest men. Hey, tie them up tight as you can. Make sure they don't got an opportunity of getting loose. We gonna make an example out of these niggas. Okay, we gonna see. Read.
And to cast them into the burning fiery furnace. Verse 21. Then these men were bound in their coats, their hosen, and their hats, and their other garments, and were cast into the midst of the burning fiery furnace.
Right, so they was bound in all their clothes, and they were thrown into the furnace. Read.
Therefore, because the king's commandment was urgent, therefore, because the king's commandment was urgent, and the furnace exceeding hot, the flame of the fire slew those men that took up Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego.
Mm-hmm.
And these three men, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, fell down bound into the midst of the burning fiery furnace.
Let's see what happened. Read.
Verse 24. Then Nebuchadnezzar, the king, was astonished,
A stone.
and rose up in haste, and spake, and said unto his counselors, did not we cast 3 men bound into the midst of the fire?
Well, you can imagine the look on his face. Hey, man, did we throw 3 people in there? Read.
They answered and said unto the king, true, O king. He answered and said, lo, I see 4 men loose.
I see 4 men loose. Read.
Walking in the midst of the fire.
And they in there walking on your fire. The fire that you had heated up even hotter that killed your men. They in there walking on it. Read.
And they have no hurt. And the form of the 4th is like the Son of God.
And one like in the form of the 4th is like the Son of God. Can you imagine seeing this? We trying to picture it the best we can. But this miraculous story, Judas is telling this to who? The troops. They weren't in a physical battle like Judas was, but them standing for the Lord in that time showed what? A warrior spirit. That I'd rather die before I turn my back on God. So they was able to draw from that. They was able to respect that. They was able to have honor for that. Seeing what? Man, the God always show up for his people. Play the next video. Couple more scriptures, then we're going to shut it down. So some of these videos are kind of reiterating the same point, but I kind of want to drill it into our people's mind because our people love imagery.
One of history's greatest revolts began with a temple under siege. 167 BCE, the Seleucid king, Antiochus IV Epiphanes, storms Jerusalem. He desecrates the holy temple and forces the Jews to bow before Greek gods. But one family refuses, Judah Maccabee and his brothers. From the hills and caves of Judea, they launch a guerrilla war, ambushing armies, striking at night, outnumbered, outarmed, but unstoppable. Against all odds, they reclaim Jerusalem. They cleanse the temple and light the sacred menorah, a flame that miraculously burns for 8 days, even with oil for just 1. This moment becomes the festival of Hanukkah. But victory sparks a new question. Can the Maccabees hold their freedom, or will the empires return to crush them again?
So when you think about guerrilla tactics in war, y'all ever seen 300? Remember the tactics that they would do to fight against or even the battlefields of the great Persian army, because the Persians had like thousands of people. Like their army was vast. Like at one point in time, I mean, in certain spots in history, they were saying like they had like 600,000 people in their army. But the difference was that they had a lot of warriors, but their warriors weren't as skillful as the Greek fighters. So, you know, the Greek fighters would come up with certain different ways. Like you see that part in 300 where they put the immortals, they stack the bodies up on top of each other. And then when the other group army come from the other side, they push them over, catch them by the element of surprise, start putting them to death. And then when they fight amongst them, out of nowhere you hear one of the Spartans yell out, "It's Scythians!" And they come out the corners of the caves and start stabbing them and push them over the cliff. So these are the type of tactics that Judas Maccabee and them were using because you already outnumbered. So you got to be smart. So they're fighting them with guerrilla-style tactics, studying their opponent, and all praise the Most High putting the spirit on them. That's what really mattered. We was able to overthrow the Greeks. Play.
He said century BCE, the Maccabees led a revolt against the Seleucid Empire, a Greek dynasty ruled by King Antiochus IV Epiphanes. He ordered the Jews to abandon the laws of God, worship Greek gods, and even had pigs sacrificed in the Holy Temple,
Right, what you read
igniting
about this in First Maccabees 1 about how Antiochus made a decree that what? Everybody should leave their laws. He only talking about the Israelites. That's what it's saying right here. He wanted the Jews to worship as them. Which you get them into the New Testament, you see Greeks, Jews and Greeks. Still talking about Israelites. You're just talking about Israelites that was Hellenized, speaking Greek and following after the Greekish customs because of the impact on what Antiochus Epiphanes IV had on our people. Remember, our people was hiding in caves, and remember, it was outlawed to keep the Sabbath and circumcise your children. Now we see we can understand that time period by what we living in today. Hundreds of years of our people not serving God. Who we serving? Our oppressors, keeping their days, sacrificing unto their gods. Play.
fierce resistance. This conflict led to the reclaiming of the temple in Jerusalem and gave rise to the celebration of Hanukkah, also known as the Feast of Dedication, commemorating the rededication of the altar. In the 2nd century...
Click the last video. Just click on it. See if that's... Yeah, play that one. I want like the... matter of fact, we'll say that one for the end of class. That'll be the outro.
During the reign of King Antiochus IV Epiphanes, the Hebrew people faced severe persecution as the king sought to enforce Hellenistic practices and suppress the Torah.
Them or change them into like the Greeks. Read.
This time period was marked by immense suffering as Antiochus issued edicts to outlaw Hebrew customs and force the people to adopt pagan ways. Faithful Hebrews who refused to comply faced brutal punishments. Yet many chose to stand firm in their devotion to Yahweh. During the reign of King Antiochus,
Right, go to the next clip. Run right for the last one. Yep.
2,000 years ago, a Jewish historian named Josephus witnessed the fall of his people. He wrote the story of how it all happened. This is the War of the Jews, Book 1, Chapter 1. It began with a quarrel between kings, Antiochus Epiphanes of Syria and Ptolemy of Egypt. And with it, a new civil war among the Jews.
Antiochus. Remember, he was he had the 4 generals, and then out of those will come what, the little horn, which was what, Antiochus. That's Brother Parak went over all that Saturday. I strongly encourage you to go watch that class. Great class. Hit play.
Themselves. The powerful in Judea could no longer bear to be ruled by equals. Onias, the high priest, expelled his rivals, the sons of Tobias, from Jerusalem. They fled north straight to Antiochus and begged him to invade their own homeland. The king agreed. He marched on Jerusalem, took it by storm, slaughtered the supporters of Egypt, and plundered the temple, even halting the daily sacrifices.
Got people of your own people trying to play, get close to the other side, so they can think, because they think with them choosing the other side because they trusting in numbers and they trusting in the king's might that they gonna be saved. The same way now you tell our people come up to us, yeah, I like what you're doing, but man, we really gotta get into politics. You know, we really got to get into the judicial branch system of the governments and get in the inside and overthrow it. Bro, you think that's how the Lord wanted one? If so, the Lord would have told us. No, the Lord going to bring the whole thing down. If I blow the house up, I ain't got to if I take the foundation out from under the house, if I just blow the house up, I'm good. I'm killing everything. That's what the Lord do. He's going to blow the whole thing up. Our job is to learn who we are, understand who we are, live as such. Then the men go out to the streets and retrieve their people by teaching this word. That's all I want on that video. First Maccabees 3, verse 38. Oh yeah, on time.
125.
All right.
You said 38?
Yes, sir.
The book of First Maccabees, chapter 3 and verse 38. Then Lysias, came Ptolemy the son of Doramus, and Nicanor, and Gorgias, mighty men of the king's friends.
Mm-hmm.
And with them he sent 40,000 footmen and 7,000 horsemen to go into the land of Judah and to destroy it.
So he sent 40,000 footmen and 7,000 horsemen. That's 47,000 people coming to fight who? Judas Maccabeus and the Israelites. Keep that in mind. Read. Surely we cooked, right? Surely we don't have a chance, right? Read.
Verse 40. So they went forth with all their power and came and pitched by Emmaus
Emmaus.
in the plain country. And the merchants of the country, hearing the fame of them, took silver and gold very much with servants and came into the camp to buy the children of Israel for slaves.
No, they just knew we was a vit. We was an easy lick. Read.
And a power also of Syria and of the land of Philistines joined themselves unto them.
Right. Everybody wanted in on the oppression of the Israelites. Just like nowadays, everybody drinking from that cup from America. Read.
Verse 42. Now when Judas and his brethren saw the miseries were multiplied, and that the forces did encamp themselves in their borders, for they know how the king had given commandment to destroy the people and utterly abolish them.
Mm-hmm.
They said one to another, let us restore the decayed state of our people.
Let us restore the decayed state of our people. Oh, praises, read.
Let us restore the decayed state of our people, and let us fight for our people and the sanctuary.
Let us fight for our people and the sanctuary. Ain't no time to be scared. You see the decay that our people in? Man, we gotta push back. You know what type of God we serve? Jump over to verse 40. Verse 46. Excuse me.
Verse 46. Wherefore the Israelites assembled themselves together and came to Maspah over against Jerusalem. For in Maspah was the place where they prayed aforetime in Israel.
Mm-hmm.
Then they fasted that day and put on sackcloth and cast ashes upon their heads and rent their clothes.
Because they understand what they're up against. Hey, Lord, hey, we need you to show up again. Because remember, these battles happen over a period of time. Inside war is many battles. So this is another battle that they're fighting within this big war, if you will. Read.
And rent their clothes. Verse 48. And laid upon the book of the law, wherein the heathen has sought to paint the likeness of their images.
Right, they laid open the book of the law, wherein the heathen has sought to paint the likeness of their image. We went back to our scriptures. That was for us, that the people always tried to take and make and put themselves up as the people of the book. But now this book always strengthened us. This book always gave us hope. Jump to verse 58.
Verse 58. And Judah said, arm yourselves and be valiant men. See that you be in readiness against the morning, that you may fight with these nations that are assembled together against us to destroy us and our sanctuary.
Right, be ready to fight. Read.
Verse 59. For it is better for us to die in battle.
It's better for us to die in battle. You good?
For it is better for us to die in battle than to behold the calamities of our people and our sanctuary.
It's better for us to die trying to fight, even though 47,000 people done came. It's better for us to die in battle than to just behold the things that happen to our people and not do nothing. That's what you see today with our people. Everybody complaining, but don't nobody want to do nothing. Everybody complaining with which way the Israelites do it. This is the way God told us to do it. You worrying about us yelling on the street corner when our people dying, people coming up missing, being sex trafficked, being trafficked for their organs. Our homes broken beyond despair. And you worried about us raising our voice on the corner? You worrying about the wrong thing. Read.
Verse 60. Nevertheless, as the will of God is in heaven, so let him do.
So let him do. Chapter 4 and verse 1.
The book of 1 Maccabees, chapter 4 and verse 1. Then took Gorgias 5,000 footmen and 1,000 of the best horsemen, and removed out of the camp by night, so that he might rush in upon the camp of the Jews, and smite them suddenly. And the men of the fortress were his gods. Verse 3. Now when Judas heard thereof, he himself removed, and the valiant men with him, that he might smite the king's army, which was at Emmaus.
Right, so even though he the captain, he a warrior, now they be painting warriors as dumb and just brute strength. Now, when you lead men in war, it's real strategic. You got to get intel that's just like now. They don't just drop bombs on a random place, or they don't just send their men from a certain angle. Nah, they do their intel, and they say, man, it's best. Oh, it's a passageway that we can come from this way, and we can send men from this way, send a decoy this way, and then once they go that way, we're going to outflank them and come behind them and take them like that. Very much intel is going on. It's like a war within a war, like you playing chess with somebody. Read.
Verse 4. While as yet the forces were dispersed from the camp, and the mean season came Gorgias by night into the camp of Judah. And when he found no man there, he sought them in the mountains.
Right, because they dipped on him. Read.
For said he, these fellows flee from us.
You think they fleeing? You think they running? Okay, all right, bet. Read.
Verse 6. But as soon as it was day, Judah showed himself in the plain with 3,000 men, who nevertheless had neither armor nor swords to their minds. And they saw the camp of the heathen, that it was strong and well harnessed, and compassed round about with horsemen, and these were expert of war. Then said Judas to the men that were with him, fear ye not their multitude.
Don't fear the multitude of them.
Neither be ye afraid of their assault.
Right, because when you see the Roman army in movies, they be having these big, strong horses. You be seeing the armor that be on the Greeks. This big armor, they be having these big old swords. It looked like when you grew up in the projects, right? And you know, your football team go play a football team that got some money. County got a little money. You play a county school or whatever. Field look good. Track around the field look good. You can tell they got new equipment. They got the best jerseys. You could compare the difference. So you get to looking like, man, damn, man, it's psychological. Man, they got the best this, the best that, the best, man. So it can breed fear in somebody. So you get out there and you be like, hey, they got pass on just like me. They got to run plays and they got to tackle just like me. This is what Judas is saying. Don't be afraid of their attire and the army. Don't be afraid. Read.
Verse 9. Remember how our fathers were delivered in the Red Sea, when Pharaoh pursued them with an army.
When Pharaoh had a great army, well, that stuff's still on the bottom of the Red Sea. Read.
Verse 10. Now therefore let us cry unto heaven.
Let us cry out to our God.
And peradventure the Lord will have mercy upon us, and remember the covenant of our fathers, and destroy this host before our face this day. Verse 11. That so all the heathen may know that there is one who delivereth and saveth Israel.
Man, the Most High gonna get his glory. Let the Most High get his glory. You just want to be on the right side of the Most High getting his glory. But let the Most High do it. Read.
Verse 12. Then the strangers lifted up their eyes and saw them coming over against them. Wherefore they went out of the camp to battle. But they that were with Judah sounded their trumpets. So they joined battle. And the heathen, being discomfited, fled into the plain.
Man, they came with all them people. And they discomfited. Read.
Verse 15. Howbeit all the hindmost of them were slain with the sword, for they pursued them unto Gazarah, and unto the plains of Idumea,
right,
and Azotus, and Jamnia, so that they were slain of them upon a 3,000 men.
Yeah, some of y'all fled, but all y'all ain't get away. You left with a lot less than you came with. Read.
This done, Judas returned again with his host from pursuing them, and said to the people, be not greedy of the spoils, inasmuch as there is a battle before us, and Gorgias and his hosts are here by us in the mountain.
Jump to verse 25, because even though they killed a lot of people, he was like, don't take out the spoils just yet. Still the battle that we gotta be attentive to it. They end up getting it though, but he was basically like, not right now. It explained verse 25.
Verse 25. Thus Israel had a great deliverance that day, and all the strangers that had escaped came and told Lysias what had happened, whom, when he had heard thereof, was confounded and discouraged, because neither such things as he would were done unto Israel, nor such things as the king commanded him would come to pass.
Man, all their plans just failing. the most High taking them down through there. Read.
Verse 28. The next year, therefore, following Lysias, gathered together 70,000 choice men afoot.
So I say the next year, you see how long these battles be going on in between this big war? Is many battles, many fights, many strongholds. Read.
And 5,000 horsemen, that he might subdue them. So they came into Idumea and pitched their tents at Basra.
Another name for Edom is Idumea. Read.
And Judas met them with 10,000 men. And when he had saw that mighty army, he prayed and said, Blessed art thou, O Savior of Israel, who didst quell the violence of thy mighty men by the hand of thy servant David, and gavest the host of strangers into the hands of Jonathan, the son of Saul, and his armor bearer.
Right, because a lot of people forget that Jonathan was a great warrior too. Jonathan went out to battle. So now he's crying out to the Most High, giving praises to the Most High, and he's remembering the things that our forefathers did before him. Chapter 5 and verse 1.
The book of 1 Maccabees, chapter 5 and verse 1. Now when the nations round about heard that the altar was built, and the sanctuary renewed as before, it displeased them very much.
Right, now when the nations round about heard that the altar was rebuilt, and the sanctuary renewed as before, it displeased them very much. Why do you think it displeased them? Because everything that they try to do to us, it failed. They desecrated the temple, sacrificed swine's flesh, put up their God in our temple, and these few men fought back and renewed and replenished the temple. And now they like, damn, it don't matter what we do to these people. They just keep overcoming. Because they understand what? By this being set back up, now this can ignite a fire within this whole nation. I mean, we got a bigger problem on our hand. Because now, not only the people fighting believe, now the people that's seeing them overcome us start to believe. Just like now. I know, some of us been in this walk a little bit longer than others. All praise to the Most High. I started to wake up like around 2014. And now when we go out to places, you actually see people with fringes on. Back then, you ain't see that. So you seeing this word grow. You seeing camps grow. Into some camps got real mighty numbers. All praise to the Most High that the Most High is using these brothers to go out and teach the word throughout the world, throughout the United States, throughout different countries. Ain't no need to hate on that. You're bringing people back to their culture. That's like somebody not fighting with Judas Maccabees and be like, man, damn, they keep winning. Like, bro, we on the same team. We all trying to get our people to come back to our God, to repent. So the nation's seeing that the thriving of the Israelites and how the tactics that the Greeks use against us ain't working. They recovering the temple and building up the spirit of the people. Now it displeased them very much because they like, it don't matter what they do. It don't matter what we do to them. It ain't working. Verse 2.
Wherefore they thought to destroy the generation of Jacob.
Right, they thought they was going to destroy the lineage of the Israelites
that was among them. And thereupon they began to slay and destroy the people. Verse 3. Then Judas fought against the children of Esau.
Right, Idumea, Esau, Judas fought against the children of Esau, read.
In Idumea. At Arabtine.
Right. Who was he fighting? He was fighting the Greeks. They're letting you know who the Greeks are. It's Edom. People like to tell you, oh, no, the Greeks wasn't Esau, it wasn't Edom, what Idumea. Man, shut up. The scriptures clearly tells us many times who the Greeks are. Read.
because they besieged Israel, and he gave them a great overthrow, and abated their courage, and took their spoil.
Jump to verse 9.
Verse 9. Also, he remembered the injury of the children of Bien.
No, verse 9.
Oh, excuse me, I'm sorry, that's verse 4. Verse 9. That the heathen that were at Galaad,
Gad.
assembled themselves together against the Israelites that were in the quarters to destroy them. But they fled to the fortress of Daphne, and said, Let us unto Judas and his brethren, the heathen that are round about us, are as assembled against us to destroy them. And they are preparing to come and take the fortress whereunto we are fled, Timotheus being captain of their host. Come now therefore, and deliver us from their hands, for many of us are slain. Yea, all our brethren that were in the places of Toby are put to death. Their wives and their children are also they have carried away captive, and borne away their stuff, and they have destroyed there about 1,000 men.
Right, so they were still killing our people. This wars, these battles still going on. The letter had to be written to Judas, and hey, it's going down over here. We need you, buddy. Read.
Verse 14. While these letters were yet reading, behold, there came other messengers from Galilee with their clothes rent, who reported on this wise. And they said, They have Ptolemaeus, and of Tyrus, and of Sidon, and all Galilee of the Gentiles, are assembled together against us to consume us. Now when Judas and the people heard these words, they assembled a great congregation together to consult what they should do for their brethren that were in trouble and assaulted of them. They said, Judas unto Simon his brother, Choose thee out men, and go and deliver thy brethren that are in Galilee. For I and Jonathan my brother will go into the country of Galilee.
Right, so they had to break it up so they would be able to kill two birds with one stone, if you will. Read.
Verse 18. So he left Joseph, the son of Zacharias, and of Azarias, captains of the people, with the remnant of the host in Judea to keep it, unto whom he gave commandment, saying, Take ye the charge of this people, and see that ye make not war against the heathen until the time that we come again.
Right. So jump to 2 Corinthians 4. So you're seeing all these different things happen with our people, and you see the mindset of a warrior, how, in order to put these fires out or these wars out, so to speak, some of the people got to go over here, some of the people got to go over here, and y'all stay here to keep the front here until we get back. But it's also, in order for him to do that, he got to know the strength and weaknesses of the people he putting in charge. All of them got to be on the same page. And you have to be serving the Most High, because it's ultimately what we putting our trust in. 2 Corinthians 4 and verse 6.
The book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 4 and verse 6. But God, who commanded the light to shine out of darkness, have shined in our hearts, to give the light of the knowledge of the glory of God in the face of Jesus Christ.
Right, so Christ had to come that light might be put back into our people. Why? Because during the time of the Greeks, it was destroyed. Our people went into hiding. We stopped keeping our customs. And then that transferred over to during the time of Christ, a lot of our people took on the Greekish customs, the Greekish mindset, started serving idols, and forgot about the history or their lineage or the Israelites or how we should be living. So Christ had to come, bring all this into remembrance, die, lay down his life for the Israelites, that they might be brought back to the Most High God. Read.
Verse 7. But we have this treasure in earthen vessels.
But we have this treasure in earthen vessels. In this earthly body, we have that treasure or that gift, which is Christ. Read.
That the excellency of the power may be of God and not of us.
But the excellency of the power, it come from the Most High, it's not of us. Read.
We are troubled on every side.
So we might be in trouble on every side. There might be a spiritual war, or there might be an actual physical war, like Judas Maccabeus and them. Trouble on every side. Read.
We are troubled on every side, yet not distressed.
But we not distressed, because we got something that, a stress reliever. We got things put in place in our scriptures to what? Pull us out of that rut that we might be in, or that stressful mind state that we might be in because of all the things that going on around us. Yes, this Bible covers everything from how to battle, from how to war, whether it be physical or whether it be spiritual. All these things are in this book. So we might be going through a lot, but we have the tools to what? Put everything back in order. Read verse 8 from the top again.
The book of 2 Corinthians chapter 4 and verse 8. We are troubled on every side, yet not distressed. We are perplexed, but not in despair.
But it might be times you perplexed. You just, as the scripture say, pour it out like water, melt it like candle wax. You might just be perplexed. But guess what? You ain't in despair. Read.
Verse 9. Persecuted, but not forsaken.
We might be being persecuted by the nations and our own people, but the Most High not forsaking us. Read.
Cast down, but not destroyed.
We might be cast down. We might be at a lower state, but we ain't destroyed. So we still got a fighting chance. You look out among our people and be like, man, every year I talk about how wicked Christmas is, and our people, instead of falling in the same thing, keep doing it. Keep on doing it. Keep telling them it's wicked as hell. Because why? Somebody didn't see it last year. You might have new people on your friend list or whatever that didn't see it. Your post might reach farther now than it did last year. Somebody actually might see it and repent. I know it seems like we going up against this big machine, this big mountain. But you look at our people, when they was outnumbered, outmanned, who did they call on? The Most High. And the Most High always showed up for his people. Always. First we have to repent, understand who we are according to the scriptures, and serve the Lord in spirit and truth through that spirit of Jesus the Christ. The book of St. John chapter 6 and verse 66. This is why the Feast of Dedication is so important. We rededicating that temple. Like now, we rededicating that temple, which is our body, to the Most High. Getting all the idols out of us that we used to worship. All the iniquity. All the abominable acts that we used to partake in. Ridding that out of our temple, and we rededicating it. So the same way they seen the temple was rededicated and put back, and it distressed the other nations, just like now. When they see us waking up, see the Israelites repenting throughout the four corners of the earth, Esau going to their meetings and be like, these niggas waking up. The tactics not working. Put more lewdness out there. More baconators out there. Put more football games out there. Put more dumb rappers out there. And it ain't working. Because the Lord's Spirit is poured out upon the earth and is waking his people up. St. John chapter 6 and verse 66.
The book of St. John, chapter 6 and verse 66. From that time, many of his disciples went back and walked no more with him. Then said Jesus unto the 12, will ye also go away? And Simon Peter answered, Lord, to whom shall we go?
To whom shall we go? Read.
Thou hast the words of eternal life, and we believe. And are sure that thou art that Christ, the Son of the living God.
The Son of the living God. Happy Feast of Dedication. All praise to the Most High for allowing us to teach his word in spirit and in truth. Be on the lookout for more Feast of Dedication classes coming throughout the rest of the week. I'm sure Brother Nathaniel going to bring some heat. Friday. Also this week is new moon. It's Friday night. If you've been in this truth for quite some time, you always know that you always have a new moon in the midst of the Feast of Dedication. So be on the lookout for that. All praise to the Most High. We get to righteously rejoice and remember our culture and our heritage, and we get to embed it in our spirit and actually have that warrior spirit to fight, whether it be spiritually, standing up for the Most High God. The Lord say the same. We get a chance to get our lick back, as me and Brother Parak like this. I want my lick back. All praise. Thank you, Brother Parak. Thank you. All praise to the Most High. Again, man, if you would like to donate, the description to our Cash App is Kings144. It's in the description of the class. Your money go towards helping us push this truth. Don't click off that button just yet. Got a video I want to play for about a minute and a half, and then we gonna shut the class down. I thought it was a real dope video. I seen on TikTok.
Shadows fall on the broken land. Chains still rattle in the cold night air. Whispers rise like a battle cry. Who will stand, who will fight, who will dare? Under moonlight, courage awakens. Spark becomes a storm of flame. Brothers marching, hearts unshaken. Judah calls them each by name. When the temple lights are fading and the night feels way too long, lift your eyes, the dawn is breaking. 1,000 voices shouting strong. Rise up, rise up. Let the hammers thunder, break the chains that held our fathers down. Stand up, hear the trumpets calling. We will never bow, we reclaim our crown. With every step the darkness trembles, with every shout the heavens roar. Heroes born from the flame of struggle. This is the war of Maccabees chapter 4.
Kwam Yasharala.
In those days arose my
So this whole video like 8 minutes. I'll put the link in the comments if you want to go to TikTok and check it out. But I just thought it was pretty dope, man. Love you all. Shalom. Most High in Christ bless. Kwam Yasharala.